Hey neighbor, time for another album review right here on ARTV. My name is John, and today I'm reviewing a pop release that had me foaming at the mouth leading up to release day. It's the sophomore outing Future Nostalgia by the English singer Dua Lipa. Pop music has been at a crossroads for the past few years. I got so sick of hearing these half-baked mid-tempo songs with no real sense of urgency or passion clogging the airwaves. So when a breath of fresh air like Dua Lipa hits your lungs, you inhale the rhythm and dance like no one's watching. Dua won me over almost immediately back in 2017 with her solid self-titled debut album. There were definitely issues in places, whether it be songwriting, production, or consistency, but the moments she got right were absolute fire. Instead of cloning that successful modern pop sound she'd been flirting with, we get to go back in time for the appropriately titled Future Nostalgia. Don't Start Now dropped as the first single, and its disco-dipped sound was very much indicative of where Album 2 was going. It got better and better the more I played it, and the best song right away for me was that I indeed did keep listening to it. Lively bass guitar, urgent melodies, and an anthem really for any breakup situation, this saw Dua throwing caution to the wind and in full control. After Physical dropped as the second official single, I was ready to crown Future Nostalgia Pop Album of the Year before it even came out. With my hype building up higher and higher, how did the full-length album that Dua spent so long working on turn out? Ladies and gents, we may have a modern pop masterpiece on our hands. A lot of people watch my videos and probably think that I just can't be pleased when it comes to pop, but really, I'm just super picky with what I actually feel is deserving of the dance floor, and Future Nostalgia sucker punched my expectations and left me on the ground staring up at a glossy disco ball. The what I would call astronomical amount of groove found in the organic instrumentation is exciting, to be honest. Pop's been needing a wake-up call for years. I mean, it's not a crime to cut loose and have fun, so not only did Dua take those huge wins to the bank, she also deposited some large amounts of the love language, and by that, I mean sex, heat, and lust, okay? The album is sexy. Production is such a crucial key to making Future Nostalgia such a non-stop banger machine track after track. You've got the likes of hip-hop producer Jeff Basker, rising star Andrew Watt, and even the duo Monsters and the Strangers behind the board for this thing, so it's really no wonder why she's able to drill the record into our skull instantly. Bass guitar pumps so much life into this album, it's so much fun to listen to. And of course, Dua's willingness to go there and be a bit more risque with the subject matter plays off of that sensual energy like clockwork. I genuinely can't believe how cohesive this record feels with so many hands involved, and the way that so many of the tracks have this distinct way of coming to a close or else segueing into the next one is just a thing of beauty. Some listeners might be put off initially to the disco synth-pop sound. I mean, I did see some contingency with the Tame Impala record that had a whole lot of that, but I really think you'll be impressed with how well she did with refining this to fit her voice. The sampling is tasteful and eclectic, and the more you hear it, the more your mood brightens, which I really think that we could all use right now. I fell the fuck into this record right away. It's like a first date that went so well, you're just skipping the foreplay and just going straight in to do the damn thing, except it's an album and you're sitting at home alone dancing in bed. Levitating was the first song outside of the two singles I'd already heard that truly melted my heart. The warbled synth that loops throughout was a stroke of genius. It sounds so good, and Dua's attitude is so nonchalant yet fully in control at the same time. You can really hear the influence of disco legends like Nile Rodgers and the way that the guitars move, and even though I am kinda sad that the collab with him didn't actually make the album, at least she went out of her way to pay homage while also bringing in her own sense of style. Title track time, Future Nostalgia also happens to open up the record, and it's an extremely funky slice of pie that lets Dua's light shine bright. I think it definitely gives us a bigger taste of her personality when compared to her debut, so basically right away she proves her ability to take the criticism and mold herself into an even better and stronger artist. Cool is a fun club track that hits like catching someone's eye from across a hazy neon-filled bar in 1987. Prepare to let that knocking synth and the effect of finger snaps overtake you, plus that drop into the chorus with the chromatic bass, and of course a small sense of desperation as she makes her intentions known, have this one feeling borderline timeless. Physical is critical. Physical is critical. Physical is critical. I could go on, but please just know how blessed we are to have this Olivia Newton-John sampling banger on our hands. The darkwave synth sets the mood, and as the rhythm picks up, so will your dancing shoes. Move in close and let the night take you away. This is seriously one of the best mainstream pop songs I've heard in ages. Please God, let this be a hit. First we got Physical, now let's detour and get critical. Boys Will Be Boys struck a chord with me, and not in a good way. Without a doubt, this is the worst song on the record, and it's unfortunate that it closes the album feeling like a misplaced encore no one really asked for. Whatever, it's not that serious at the end of the day, and outside of its message, I just really didn't care for the song as a whole. I mean, the strings here, they feel a little bit out of place, and the misguided airiness had this feeling like a Florence and the Machine outtake. However, Good in Bed that comes directly before Boys in the Tracklist is a completely different story. Sauntering into the room with enough swagger to have Soulja Boy cowering in a corner, Dua Lipa rides out this piano-fueled pop smash to some dramatic heights that detail a relationship that only seems to work well because of sex. I love the openness about sexuality, not only here, but throughout the entire record as she brings up those feelings. And I'm sure that some out there watching are ready to point a finger at me and say, well, why are you okay with Dua saying good pipe in the moonlight, yet you tear Iggy Azalea or else somebody else apart when they do it? If your entire song is just lines about how you're on the dick speeding, I'm gonna toss the garbage out in the can where it belongs, but I really don't feel that trashiness was Dua's angle. Love Again will have you tapping your toes along once the drums kick in, plus the strings and the acoustic guitar prowess help make this one stand out big time. Creeping bass and a lot of tension will make you crave Break Your Heart, although I wouldn't call it one of the best on the album. It can feel a little bit predictable, but the slowdown and drop slide to the hook definitely make it worth coming back to. Last one to talk about is called Pretty Please, and I saved it for last for a reason. I feel like this could be kind of a divisive one, but I'm on the side of loving this cut. It's pretty minimal with its delivery, but to me that just makes it feel even more sly and sexy. Humans get horny, it's only natural, and Dua does an effective job at making us feel what she's craving, and the separation that's making it impossible to get what she wants. You're going to be hearing a lot about this album, and I'll be the first to say that the praise is completely warranted. I highly suggest that you check out this pop gem in full. Future nostalgia is a stab at disco and some modern sounds that lands almost every blow masterfully. I'll give Dua Lipa's sophomore album a 4.5. Do not skip this one, and once you've heard it, drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching my review. At the end of the day, it's all just my opinion, and if you'd like to see more of that, then you can catch my review of Dua Lipa's self-titled album here. Tap here for another recent review, and stay tuned because I've got a lot more music content on the way very soon. Stay safe out there, and I will see you back here for more on ARTV.